Now we're gonna get into Digital Digest. As you guys know, Digital Digest is all things trending on social media. So a little bit more fun.
Needed that.
Yes, the Grammys nominations, they came out. I have a couple thoughts. First of all, the two artists I'm gonna really be talking about right now is Kendrick and Beyonce.
Yeah.
Beyonce had an all-time record with 99 total Grammy nominations, 11 this time, but like 99 total. That's an insane record. She also officially has already the most amount of Grammys in general.
Does she? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, she did. She won it the last cycle.
Shit.
However, Renaissance did not win Album of the Year, and that's when
crazy.
Jay-Z, he received like an honorable like Grammy, and he gave that
Yeah.
speech and was like, you guys are gonna just continue disrespecting her.
Yeah.
And that makes me wonder, and a couple other fans, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm more in the comms than a beehive, but I will claim it.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with them when they're like, continuously the Grammys disrespect her, and yes, they gave her Album of the Year this time. They gave her a ton of Grammy nominations. I pray that she wins. Okay, a few things. One, I do hope she wins, because once again, you're now inviting this star. You're making it seem like, oh, you're hitting records, like you have to
This
attend.
star, by the way, it's Beyonce. No, I know.
No, that's real,
But
that's
like,
real,
it's
that's
like
real.
just the word. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's not like you're like giving
bigger
her this
than.
one little thing. It's Beyonce.
You're bringing Beyonce here, making her
Like-
feel like, oh, this is my night. I've already like broken records,
Yeah.
just like last year. But then you snub her for every single major category.
Beyonce, guys. Like, that's insane.
But then another part of me is like, holy crap, Cowboy Carter should not be winning Album of the Year.
Yeah, it's definitely, like, I definitely preferred Renaissance to Cowboy Carter, but, and I know you, like, feel some type of way about it. I personally
You prefer Cowboy Carter over...
don't prefer, but I like it a lot.
Oh, okay. I thought
Like,
you
I like it a
preferred.
lot. The first time I listened to it, I wasn't a big fan, but then I'm not a big fan of any album, really, the first time I listened to it.
That's fair.
But, like, I really enjoy Cowboy Carter. Definitely
fair.
Renaissance is better, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I agree. I think Renaissance, I feel like Renaissance made that... My mother actually thinks Renaissance is her best album. I feel like... I think self-titled Beyonce is her best album, just because she changed the trajectory of dropping music. Remember I talked about it dropping on a Friday?
Guys, I learned so much from Cameron's first episode. Like, tune in every episode. You learn so much.
So much information. I feel like that was her best album only because I felt like this is when she started kind of like changing how she was making music. She started being more sexual. She was like, hey, I'm a woman. Yes, I have sex. Yes, I like to talk about myself. Yes, I'm a confident black woman. That's what that album kind of gave, especially post Blue Ivy. And we'd never like heard Beyonce singing vulgar, quote unquote, vulgar, you know, songs.
Yeah.
And it also felt like that was like a transition of, freedom, you know, like I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just like trying to tell my story. And it was a beautiful album, right?
Like,
I feel like that would have been a great one. And then Renaissance a close second. That's the only album, no skips.
Nope. I completely agree.
No skips.
I might also agree with your mom. I think that might be
Renaissance is her best.
Yes.
I think it's also the time. I love the fact that Cowboy Carter should have been Act 1. And you can tell it should have been Act 1.
What do you mean?
So Beyonce said Cowboy Carter should have been Act 1. However, because of the global pandemic and the timing of it, she made Renaissance Act 1. Like Break My Soul, it dropping that summer.
Wait, that's real. Okay, I get that.
No, but she did that on purpose. She was like, everybody needed joy. And that's why she made Renaissance the first album.
I love her.
But I argue that you can absolutely tell that Cowboy Carter was supposed to be Act 1 based off of the performance.
What do you mean? Oh, like how well
it's performing, how well it's charting, and also just like comparing, like, you know how we were like Act 1 was so much better than Act 2.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet Act 3 is going to be better than both?
Okay, I'm really excited for that then. I'm like
really
a little
excited.
bit worried, but like I know she's gonna make me like it. But
Yeah.
wow, that's interesting.
I can almost tell now, like, this makes sense that like Cowboy Carter isn't something that feels, I mean, I don't know, like, yeah, she...
Good, like, obviously,
It's
like,
good.
The Renaissance
It's good.
was definitely better.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's definitely lasted longer. Like, people are still listening to Renaissance to this day.
Cuff It Wetter version might be one of my favorite songs. I like put it on like constantly.
And
it
I
just sounds
love
so good to the ears.
I love how online Beyonce is. The fact that she knew people were trying to like make slower versions of Cup, and she said, you know what, y'all, let me just make a remix. Let me just give you what y'all want.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. I don't know. I'm feeling some type of way. Like, I want her obviously to finally get Album of the Year. I feel like they disrespect her constantly by always nominating but never giving. Lemonade?
Yeah.
Lemonade was her most vulnerable album.
What am I talking about? That is I completely forgot about Lemonade for some reason. I love Lemonade, and I'm gonna show this episode to Molly. Me and Molly love Lemonade.
Aww.
Like, we bond over that so much.
Yeah,
love that album.
Most
That's an
vulnerable
amazing
album. I think most vulnerable album ever. I don't think any artist is actually tapping that deep into like relationship problems, especially with somebody like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You're Beyonce, and you are outwardly saying, yes, my man also cheated on me, and however, this is how we got back together, and this is how I forgave him. You also forgave him? Like, people were looking at you like, girl.
Yeah, no. I feel like I had a man that cheated. I feel like she does a really good job of putting or giving us her story in a way that we feel like we're in it. Yeah. Like, I've never experienced anything like that, but I'm like, Beyonce, like, I get you.
Right.
Yeah.
No, definitely. That was definitely her. And also, I think Adele summed it up really well when she won Album of the Year, and she literally was like, what more did she have to do, the Academy? Like, she broke her award. They actually cut it out on the Grammys night, but there was other footage showing she broke her award to share with Beyonce. That's why Beyonce was crying when she was giving that speech.
I love it.
And she was like, the way you made my Black friends feel in that album, because let's not also forget that she had a lot of songs that talked about police brutality. She had a lot of her freaking Super Bowl performance. Yeah. When she was dressed like Black Panther. Like, this was the album that people always joke like, oh, Beyonce needs to remind you guys she is Black. She is Black. Yeah. And that's exactly what she did. Talking about the freaking hurricanes in Louisiana. Like, she covered a lot of heavy topics, and she brought confidence in black people, you know? Yeah.
Needed especially at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. So, again, just always disrespect it. Because that was 2016. That's right when Trump was elected. Yeah. Sorry, not to go back to
No. it always goes back there.
Right? Yeah. But let's also talk about Kendrick Lamar. Now, I just want to know. Let's say we're beefing, right? Okay. I'm Kendrick, you're Drake.
Okay.
I know, right? Okay, so you did lose, unfortunately, the beef. You're a Toronto man, but with like 12, 11 different accents. Yes. And I dropped this album, and you know what? I mentioned Rory Ma earlier in this episode, and how that's one of my favorite hip-hop podcasts. My only, like, annoying thing about Ma is that he just can't accept that Not Like Us is bigger than calling Drake a pedophile. He just hates the fact that he called him a pedophile.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so you're not hip to this. So, like, just a little context, Ma, like, is friends with Drake. And so a lot of times his points are a little bit biased, but he acts like they're not biased. They're definitely biased. And one of the things that he's always saying is, like, there's no way you can call somebody a pedophile, a freaky, what did he say, a 6'9" freaky guy or whatever. There's no way you can do that without any evidence. That's what Ma likes to say. Like, there's no evidence that he actually does this. And he was like, okay, yeah, he dated 19-year-old Georgia Smith and he was in his 30s. That doesn't make you a pedophile. Well, no, but it makes you a creep.
It makes you weird.
It makes you weird. You're in your 30s. Weird. Bro, he made, like, songs about Georgia Smith breaking his heart. And she was 19. She was 19.
It's, like, obviously that's just, like, very weird on his part. Yeah. But, like, almost above all, actually, because I'm Drake, I'm in his shoes.
Yeah.
Where's the shame?
Where's the shame?
Aren't you a little bit embarrassed about that one?
I would be embarrassed.
Like, I personally wouldn't release
like, you let a 19-year-old break your heart and you're 30?
A grown man.
You're a grown man. Grow up.
Like, frontal lobe been
developed. Hers not even near. She can't even drink in the US. What? Anyway. He likes to only call out the fact that Kendrick was calling him a pedophile. However, Kendrick was also saying that you're not for the culture. Not Like Us as a whole was he saying that you're a weird guy, but he was more so saying the culture doesn't respect you because you're constantly using us for your profit. Yeah. However, like, you're actually not deeply tapped in. Like, his whole thing about him going to Atlanta whenever he needs a new hit. and like grabbing like all those like top, you know, stars like the 21 Savages, Young Thugs of the world. Like, we could go on and on, but yeah.
No, that's definitely true. Like, he picks in, as a mixed man, he definitely leans into that in picking and choosing when to, I guess, be within the Black community.
Yeah, for sure. Just like, I think it definitely showed when Rick Ross like told him that his nose, like he got a nose job, and he was like calling him BBO Drizzy. And then Drake posted his text messages with his white mother saying like Rick Ross was bullying him. Like, that's when it shows. Or how about this? Kendrick tells you can't say the N-word anymore, so your intro of your song is your mother saying, hey Drake, I really don't think you should say that word. And he's like, no. What? I'm sorry, why did no one talk about that enough? Are you kidding? Your white mother just told you, hey Drake, I really don't think you should say that word anymore.
I like hear things, but I don't fully like digest it. That's weird as hell.
Welcome
Why
to Vibes Digest.
Do that? What the hell?
Welcome to Vibes Digest.
Yes.
Yeah, like, I think this is exactly what Kendrick is talking about, and I just hate when people miss the message. Ball, you're constantly missing the message. And he's not just calling Drake a pedophile. He's saying the culture doesn't like you.
Yeah.
And actually, you guys should check out my episode 2. I talk about Drake's numbers and how he has not been charting. And I think that this beef has actual long-term effects on Drake.
Everyone's like eyes are a bit more open.
Eyes are a bit more open. Have you listened to like any of his newer songs that he's dropped? Like, do you know like he previewed a song a week or 2 ago?
When did he drop? On Instagram or Spotify? On Instagram. Okay, definitely. I have not seen it.
Yeah. Exactly. Or like even the 100 gigs. It was like called OVO, like October's Very Own. It was, nobody was really listening to it. He was previewing a song. He also dropped 100 gigs. He dropped a bunch of songs. Nobody's talking about it.
Nobody's talking about it, but
no one's
when
listening.
I was in Miami, this really fucking annoying man forced me to listen to one song in particular, like actually replayed it because he loved it so much, and honestly it was really good. I'm not supporting the man.
Wait, which one? 100 gigs?
What, like one of the songs within, I forgot which one. Like,
I think one of them was good. Like, honestly, like, I'm not saying he makes bad music. It's Drake. I think people are no longer listening as intently. The numbers where they once were. Drake would drop a project and people would not stop talking about it for weeks. It would be in the clubs for weeks. We still hear Drake in the club, but it's his old music.
So true.
Like, people aren't listening to his new stuff anymore, and I just want to make the argument that that is because of Kendrick. I think people really started thinking about it like, holy crap, you are a biracial man, a Black and Jewish white man who grew up in the suburbs of Toronto, who likes to cosplay being Caribbean, African,
everything,
a gang member, like a hood dude from Atlanta. You like to cosplay a lot of these different things, and you change your accents, you change your flows. Now, I couldn't understand the argument of like, oh, he's changing his flow to like, I guess, make the song sound better, match the vibe or whatever. Cool, I guess. But it's an era. It's like you're appropriating this stuff. But then you say slick stuff, like one, running to your white mother whenever stuff gets sticky. 2, not to highlight Tyler. Then 2, when you're in the middle of a whole rap beef, you make a comment that Kendrick sounds like he's trying to free the slaves. He raps like he's trying to free the slaves.
That was really...
You're not even American.
What?
You are a Canadian biracial man. You're not even American. You know nothing about the Atlantic slave trade. Let's start there.
And also, regardless, what do you mean
and by what do you mean? And regardless, what do you mean by that? Is that not a good thing?
Like,
do we not want him to free the slaves?
Like hello.
Is that an insult?
And like, okay, slavery's over, but is it? Like,
but is it?
And no, that was a really weird comment.
Even if it is over, like, what are you trying? This man just said you're not for the culture. This man just said...
It hit a little too close to home.
It hit close to home. Because, I know that fly. We have a fruit fly in here, you guys, and it's crazy. But no, it definitely hit close to home because people then started questioning, like, does Canada have, like, culture? Does Canada have culture when it comes to Black culture? I say like The Weeknd and Cardi Store. Like they have singing culture, and I think that's also why Drake sometimes sings.
But is that? I know they're Canadian. Is that their culture? They come over here. You know what I mean? Like true. It's kind of, and I know where they're born, like their citizenship or whatever. But like, I think it's more like U.S. like Black culture
Yeah.
than
No, for sure.
Canadian
like
Black
it's definitely not
culture.
originated
I don't know
there.
anything about Canada.
Some I don't either. I know they're nice and they have great bacon.
Yes.
Beautiful money. That's
Maple
all I
syrup.
know. Maple syrup.
Little.
Yes. Hockey. Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
That's about it.